Up next, stories of hope.
This place is a lifesaver for some people.
And
coming up on SunCast, we're here at Marcus and Leslie's new location in Chelmsford.
it's all ahead on SunCast.
Good afternoon. They've spent a decade in Chelmsford Center. Now Marcus and Leslie has a new location with the latest trends for summer. Entertainment correspondent Rachel Briere has more.
Hi, we're here in Chelmsford at Marcus and Leslie's new location where trends are made.
After 11 years in Chelmsford Center, Marcus and Leslie have new digs at the revamped Palmont Plaza on Alpine Lane.
Well, we moved over here and parking is so much better. It's so much easier for people to find, especially off the highway, since we have a lot of people that come here from out of town.
The boutique is the go-to place for the area's young, hip fashion plates. Downsizing to one floor made the shop more attractive and easier to navigate its many racks of clothing and accessories.
Bright colors are going to be phenomenal this spring, and now Marcus will tell us what's hot and what is not.
The big trends for spring and summer are gypsy and rock and roll glam. A little bit of metallic, but a lot of cotton, a lot of heavy 70s prints, a lot of prairie cut bottoms on dresses, lots and lots of sundresses, lots of real easy, casual things. Big colors this year are mostly the jewel tones for summer, a lot of really fiery colors, really intense cerises, fuchsias, magentas. Royal blue is a huge color. A lot of sun-drenched yellows, anything really intense. I think people should get rid of low-rise jeans that are really too low. Anything too tight, too fitted. I think everything is looser, softer, and more feminine this year.
That's it for us here in Chelmsford at Marcus and Leslie. Now I'm going to do a little shopping. Back to you, Bridget.
Thanks, Rachel. They've battled addictions and homelessness, all with the hope of wanting a better life. Now residents from the Lowell Transitional Living Center tell their stories of survival.
This place is a lifesaver for some people. It's actually here to save our lives. And without this place, I'd be lost. I literally would be lost.
Leanne Sharon used to be homeless. She fed her demons on the streets using cocaine and then heroin until her lifestyle became too much to handle.
October of 2006 is when I decided that's it. I've had enough. And I got clean, and I had an apartment. I was living in Lowell, and I wasn't able to pay my rent because I pay child support.
Leanne came to the Lowell Transitional Living Center for help. She studied for a GED and is now a certified nursing assistant.
I have a career now. I have a chance to see my kids. I have a chance to better my life.
The Lowell Transitional Living Center has been helping the city's homeless since the mid-1980s. Its location on Middlesex Street is just blocks away from the New Jam parking garage, part of the city's efforts to redevelop the neighborhood. In January, City Councilor Alan Kazanjian suggested moving the shelter to Tewksbury State Hospital. While Kazanjian wasn't available for an on-camera interview, we spoke with City Councilor Rita Mercier.
My colleague made that motion with the best interest in mind, not to say get those people out of here, they're not good people. I don't think he meant that at all. What I think he meant was maybe there's a better place for them. Just because they're in the shelter does not mean that they're bad people. It means they have a problem, whether they have a drinking problem, whether they don't have the money. To be poor is not their problem, it's society's problem.
With some shelter residents recovering from drug addictions, case manager Joe Tucker is a source of strength. He says the shelter should stay in the city, but there needs to be other options.
Lowell being a core city, this is where people are going to congregate more. So this is where individuals are. And I think it's up to us to be able to provide them with some options, not just in Lowell. I think, again, we need to kind of look at things regionally.
So one of the things we need is we need more housing. We need more individual units available to people. And if that happens to be in Tewksbury, or that happens to be in Chelmsford or wherever, I'm in favor of it. But to think that we can just, in one lockstep, close the shelter and move it elsewhere is I think, very unrealistic and perhaps even a bit naive.
Passanen believes the shelter can be a good neighbor to surrounding businesses, but refuses to apologize for their mission.
The shelter is providing the most basic of human services. When you talk about people who otherwise wouldn't have any food, wouldn't eat for a day, or have absolutely no other place to stay.
Kim Milnes was living in Lowell until her landlord raised the rent. Unable to pay, she came to the shelter. Her goal is to help other recovering addicts and alcoholics.
I didn't choose to be here. I did not, say when I was younger, I'm going to grow up, be an alcoholic and addict and live in a shelter. I didn't choose to be here. But if it wasn't for this place, I would more than likely be dead on the street.
I mean, it is a struggle, though, because there's nothing like living in a shelter.
Bill Egan is also a former addict who says the shelter gave him a second chance at life.
I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And I love them, but I wasn't there for them. Now, how my life has changed is since I've left this place. I'm involved in a healthy relationship, and I have a new son.
The Lowell Transitional Living Center has close to 100 beds for sober adults. They also own the building next door, which offers emergency shelter for 45 people.
That's 135 people, individuals in Lowell who are homeless and have no place else to go. On top of that, we probably have 4 or 5 hardy souls that are still living outside. There are people who are living in tents in Lowell, kind of hard to believe, but it does happen.
I know there's a life out there for people beyond drugs and alcohol, beyond homelessness. There's a life out there. You just got to work for it.
That wraps up this edition of SunCast. On Friday, we'll be on set for the filming of This Side of the Truth. We hope you'll check back in with LowellSun.com for the latest news and information. Have a great afternoon.